This video will help you land a house within 1 week of searching for a house in this very conservative house. Are you struggling to get a house right now in Poland? This video is for you. Lose your property if you miss just 1 month rent. Hello guys, and how are you doing? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Raphael, and you know how we do it on this show. I feed you with the best information that's going to assist you on your journey to Europe. So this is the part 2 of the house hunting video, and on today's video we are going to be looking at 2 very important things. Number 1, how to land a house within 1 week of searching for the house, and number 2, how to avoid the house rent trap that can make you lose your whole property if you sign a contract in Poland. Now this video is going to be helpful for everyone if you're already in Poland or also if you are still on your journey to Europe. So what you have to do for me now is to smash that like button, do well to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you are just coming across this channel for the first time, and also share this out to someone who will need it, who is in Poland or also who is on his journey to Europe. So for a quick recap on the part 1 of this video, we talked about the difficulty in finding a house in Poland and then why it is that way. We dissected it and we looked deep into it. So please, if you have not watched that video, please feel free to go and watch that video. It is going to give you a proper understanding of where you are coming to and what you are possibly going to face upon arrival. Okay, seeing how difficult it is to land a house in Poland from my previous video, now I have few tricks up my sleeve that can help you as a foreigner land a house in Poland as soon as you start searching for this house. Okay, for so many people it takes them up to 3 months, for so many people it takes them up to 4 months. Now you might think that this is not going to be important to you as someone who is just coming to Europe, or coming to Poland for the first time. But let me tell you, once you come into Poland, now you might feel free, or maybe you might feel okay, with the first apartment you are going to be put inside. Okay, just like me, the first time I came in, I was given a very tiny room. You understand? It's a place that back in Nigeria we can't even give to the animals to live in. Very, very tiny, very small, and I was paying a huge amount of money for that very small space. Now I felt comfortable, for the first month until I started going out, I started meeting people, I started seeing things, and I started needing more space for myself. Okay, so once you come in, you might be okay for the first few weeks, for the first few months, but once you want to settle, then the reality of the housing market is going to dawn on you, and that is when you need to employ the tactics that I'm going to give you in this video. So my first trick for landing a house within the first week of searching for a house in Poland is learn the basics of Polish language. Okay, now I know why I use the word basics. Okay, you do not need to learn everything. Now for this trick to be effective, you do not need to learn everything. You just need to learn the basics, maybe probably the phonetics and the alphabets, and you understand the sounds, how you can be able to pronounce words. You do not need to learn much. You need to learn just the simple basics. Okay, now this is going to give you a foothold in the market. This is going to give you a foothold anywhere. You understand? Just knowing the basics, you can be able to read the market more, and you can be able to get into the shells of those who own the property, and I'm going to tell you how you are going to do that. Now step 2 is start by speaking the Polish language to them. Now this is why I told you to learn the basics of Polish. Okay, so how the house search goes here is that when you go on Autodom, and when you go on OLX, when you go to Facebook Marketplace, you can you are given the option to either leave a message, or maybe give them a call. So mostly if you leave a message, you stand the chance of being ignored completely, because this person can go into your profile and see who you are, or maybe by sending them the message in English, they can know that you are a foreigner and you are not a Polish citizen. Okay, so what you are going to do is start by speaking the Polish language. Do not begin your calls, and I'm going to tell you what you need to say. You don't need to know much, and these are the few lines you need to only know. So once you have selected the house of your choice, okay, whether it is on Autodom, whether it's on Facebook Marketplace or anywhere, so what you have to do is do not send the message as I said. You just pick up the number and call this number. Okay, so when you call this number, what you have to say is Dzwonię do domu na Autodom. So what this means is I am calling for the house on Autodom. Okay, so Dzwonię do domu na Autodom, and then immediately follow up by saying Czy to jest dostępne? Okay, so like this is the only thing you need. So what Czy to jest dostępne means, is it available? So immediately you say this. They will be at the position to answer yes or no. Now if you know the basics of Polish, you can know when someone has said tak or nie. Now not everyone is going to answer you directly, but then some might be quite direct to tell you tak or nie. So once they tell you tak, they have said yes. So remember that you started speaking in Polish. So having started that conversation in Polish, you've already given them the idea that you know a little Polish. So while they are following up your question to answer yes or no, they will start speaking in Polish. So the next thing you will now say is, czy mówisz po angielsku? Can you speak Polish? Can you speak English? Sorry. So can you speak English? So at that point in time, they are boxed. Most of them will be in a box. So if it's someone who have said yes to you that the house is available, they will most probably be in a position to continue the conversation in a positive manner. Okay? But if they had said no already, then you can end the conversation or whatever. But if they had said yes, you know that now if they say no, they will give a false impression a negative impression about themselves. Knowing the fact that you had already started the conversation in Polish and you might know the Polish language. So you might have heard them say tak, and so they will not want to contradict themselves by saying nie again. So you might possibly, most likely have a fruitful conversation and possibly land a house tour. So that is the trick I have for you on that aspect. So the third trick, and the one that always works very fine and very wonderful, is to have someone who speaks Polish around. Okay, yeah. So you can have a friend, you can have an acquaintance, you can have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, whichever, or you can have maybe someone from work or someone who you play sports with. You understand? Just have a close acquaintance who is a native Polish. Okay, so when you search for this house, what you do is you can place this call, and then you give it to this person to respond for you, give it to this person to answer the questions or to ask anything for you. So they will most likely be open to this Polish person, and then maybe after saying it is available or whatever, now the person can then say, but it is an African student, it is a German, whichever country student or whatever kind of person that is looking for this house. So most likely they would not say no, not to appear racist. Okay, they will not say no if they had already said yes. Okay, they will give you an opportunity to come and see this house, and that is where the next thing I'm going to say becomes very, very important. Now note that this doesn't work every time. Now you might try to use them and then they might just say no outrightly. There are people who will say no, actually it's not for foreigners, and just that one goes. You try the next person. There are always lots of houses out there, so you try the next person and just keep on going like that. Finally, if you land a house tour, I would advise you to have your money for deposit with you while you are going on that tour. Okay, because what happens is, if you go for that tour and after going for the tour you are not able to pay between the first 1 or 2 days, what will happen is, if you place a call again, you will hear that the house is no longer available. Now I'm saying this because this happened to me, and if you do not if you are not conscious of this, you are going to lose the house you got by following the steps that I just outlined to you. Okay, so this is what you are going to do. Have your money with you while you are going on the house tour, so that when you see it, once you like it, you tell them you are ready to sign a contract immediately. You catch them in a box and you sign the contract immediately, and you pay the deposit for the money, and voila, you own the house. For 1 year, for 6 months, whatever amount of contract you want to sign, that is just it. So now, when you have landed the house contract, this is where you have to be more careful. So I was with an Algerian native as my Uber driver one of these days, and he was telling me lots of stories. He's been in Poland for quite a while. So we started talking about housing and contracts and everything, and then he told me that what some landlords do now, private landlords do now, is they include in their contract that your position will belong to them if you do not pay your rent for 1 month. Now what this means is, you lose everything. You lose your property if you miss just 1 month rent. Now this is very serious. So before you sign any house contract, if it is possible, please have the English version of that contract and read it properly. Make sure you read it properly, because it is a trap that so many people might fall in. No one knows what is going to happen within 1 year cycle. So don't say, oh, you have always been paying for your rent. You do not know if you are going to fall into a trap, or if you're going to fall into a financial hassle and you have to delay your rent. This implies that immediately you delay and you're not able to pay for your rent, the landlord can kick you out and have possession of everything that is inside your house. Everything you put in there, from your clothes, whatever, as far as it's inside that house, the landlord now owns it. So please open your eyes to this kind of contract and make sure that you do not fall into this trap. Okay, and then you follow the hacks that I gave to you, if you are looking for a house right now, and I'm sure it's going to be of great help to you. I'm going to see you guys in my next video where we are going to talk about so many other amazing things. Like and subscribe, and I'm going to see you there. Bye bye.